So, what is wholesaling real estate? Right? What is wholesaling? A lot of y'all, wonders like, dang, I see all this stuff about wholesaling real estate. What is wholesaling real estate and how does it work? Right? Well, today I'm going to talk about what is wholesaling real estate, how does it work, and give you guys some real examples of how this thing all work out, right? Some myths about wholesaling is that that you could do it with no money, that your credit don't matter, um, and that it's easy to start and get into real estate, right? Um, so that's why a lot of people like to jump into wholesaling. They want to get involved in wholesaling because they think it's something that's going to be easy, something they can jump into and make a ton of money real quick, right? Well, you can start technically with no money, right? You don't need any actual money to get the process done. You know what I'm saying? But in order to efficiently or quickly or the most effective way, I should say efficiently, I should say effective. The most effective way to wholesale is to spend money, right? That's the most effective way. That's what the pros do, right? So when you see people jump in here saying you can do this, you can do that, you can do this much money, that much money, they're talking about spending money, right? They can tell you all day not spending money, but in order to do what they're doing, you got to spend some money. You know what I'm saying? The people that's telling you about this stuff, they ain't going out there and spending nothing, right? So one of the myths saying that you don't need no cash is wrong. Like you will need to spend some cash, right? And the less cash you spend, the more time you're gonna spend, right? So depending on your situation, some people have time and they don't have money. Some people have money but they don't have time. Well, if you don't have money, then you can spend your time going out there to let more sellers know that, hey, I'm interested in buying properties cash. So I work with a group of investors that's looking to buy property cash, you know. But if you have money and no time, you can use your money to leverage, to speed things up so you can maybe call more people in a day or text more people in a day or get other people to do work for you, right? That's how you can use your money in order to be able to wholesale and it won't take up a lot of time, right? I always talk about 9 to 5 wholesalers because a lot of people got a 9 to 5, they might be looking to wholesale. Well, in order to do that, they may have the money to get that done, but they don't have time. You see what I'm saying? And it's the time that you're gonna need in order to wholesale, effectively, right? Well, if you don't have time yourself, you got to leverage somebody else's time, right? And sometimes you got to leverage the US dollar in order to get people in other places to do work for you, right? So that's another myth saying that you don't need money. You're gonna need either money or you're gonna need time, right? One or the other. And time, that's your time and your effort and your hustle, right? If you got money, you can put other people to work, use their time and their hustle. You see what I'm saying? So that's why it's the most effective way. That's the most effective way to run any business, right? You don't see the owner of these companies that's actually being profitable. You don't see the owner in there selling stuff. You see what I'm saying? It's like they put stuff in order for things to happen. That's another thing about wholesaling. Most people think, "Oh, I'm just gonna start. I'm just something I'm just gonna do." You know, it's like, dude, no, it's a business, man, that you started, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a business. At least that's what the pros doing. You talking about doing 10K a month, you starting a business. Now you tell me you just want to do one deal this whole year, then you could just play around and just be you and try to wholesale a deal. But there's a difference between wholesaling a deal and running a wholesale business. That's consistently doing business, right? So that's the difference, man. And you know, if you want to consistently do business, then you got to do what the pros do, you know. So with no money, I wouldn't say no money, I would say low money. You can do it with no money, but I would say the most effective way is to do it with low money, right? Now your credit won't matter at all. They don't care nothing about your credit, right? So, dude, your credit won't matter at all. So, you can have whatever credit you want to have. I always say wholesaling is so cool because it's like you can you can wholesale, right, with no cash and no credit, and it could fix your cash and credit situation, right? Y'all hold on real quick. I gotta turn this thing down. My bad, had to help the kids out real quick. But yeah, look, dude, there's a difference between doing one wholesale deal and running a whole wholesale business. You know what I'm saying? So there's a difference. It's like, what are you really trying to do? If you're just trying to do one deal, it's probably gonna take you a long time. But if you going in understanding that you're trying to run a business, then it probably ain't gonna take you as long. You see what I'm saying? So you got to be willing to go into it, and you trying to run a wholesale business. You got to be willing to go into it and bring a couple of $100. We ain't even talking about $1,000. We saying a couple of $100 to get you off your feet. You know what I'm saying? Another thing is, it's like if you want to wholesale like the pros, you got to get connected with pros. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you got to get connected with pros. That just streamlines you, man. It just makes it, I listened to that when I first got started. Somebody was saying, like, if you want to start this wholesale thing and be successful, if you want to start this wholesale thing and be successful, you could do it, but, it's going to take you a while to actually be successful, right? Now, if you get coaching, if you go and find somebody, whether you know them and they can teach you, or whether you don't know them, they can teach you. If you get that inside information, it's just going to speed up your process. You see what I'm saying? It's just going to make you being successful faster, right? You're going to be on a faster track of being successful, right? I always say, like, for example, like, one of my friends started wholesaling. They were fast tracked, right? So because they was able to call me like every day and learn from somebody who already doing deals. You know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of times people, they don't have anybody they can call to learn, right? They don't have anybody they can hit up and answer all their questions, or just walk right beside them and have the confidence, like, dang, I know this person, they doing it, so I got full confidence in this happening, right? Most people don't have that, right? So to have that person, that you could, learn from, it speeds you way up. You know what I'm saying? And Steve Train told me that, like, when I first got started. Steve Train is one of the only people that hit me back when I first got started, besides Flip Man. But yeah, and it was true, man. There's so many deals that I did that could have been way more profitable if I would have known certain stuff, that I would have got it from, somebody, if I would have known somebody who's experienced in this field. If I would have known an experienced person, then I would have knew, oh, dang, I need to do this to make the most money off this deal. But I didn't know. And I was picking up 4K checks, 3K checks, when I should have been picking up 40K checks, 30K checks, right? So, like, that's the big thing as far as wholesaling and wanting to move fast in this business. So that's what I would tell you. That's what I would tell you, as far as trying to get started wholesaling, that's what you need to do. So how does wholesaling work? Well, wholesaling work like this. If you want to, wholesaling is basically buying a property and then turn around and sell it. So it's two ways to do this transaction. You can buy the property, turn around and sell it, but you buying with none of your money. How are you buying with none of your money? You're using a end buyer, a cash buyer's funds to fund your first transaction of buying it, right? So that first transaction is between you and the property owner, right? But the attorney's office is going to use that end buyers like your buyer. So what you're trying to do with wholesaling is you got a property owner, right? You let them know you work with investors and that that they're willing to buy the property, and you can offer them 100,000. So you get that contract for 100,000 under contract, right? You write it up, everything like that. If you need a contract, go check out my page. I done went over the contract already, right? Then you're gonna have a buyer that's actually gonna buy the property on the other end, right? And you tell him, hey, 110 for this property, and they say yes. You put them under the same contract, right? Except that you become the seller, and then the end buyer is the buyer. Well, you send both of those to the attorney's offices, and what the attorney's office is going to do is that A to B contract between you and the property owner. They're going to take the end cash buyers who actually got the money. They're going to take their funds and use it to complete the first transaction. Then after that first transaction is complete, bam, then they move on to the second transaction, right? And then you're going to end up getting the difference between those two. So you got the seller under contract at 100,000, you got the buyer under contract at 110. You're going to get 10,000 minus any fees that you're going to take on for closing, right? So like usually in the A to B in these contracts, the buyer is going to be the one that say, hey, I'm going to pay all the closing costs. Well, that happens on your A to B side. You pay all the closing costs. You see what I'm saying? Which could be like $800, could be $1,000, could be $1,500, depending on what attorney's office you're going to. And then when you get to the other side, the B2C side, where you're selling it, then that end buyer is going to be the one that is going to be paying all that closing costs, right? So you may walk away with maybe 9,000, 9,200 or something like that. So that's how it works, right? That's how it works. And shout out, man. Shout out to A always coming through, man. A done got a different logo on us, man. There we go. A done got a different logo on us. How did you get in contact with Steve? Man, I just reached out to him, man. Just hit him up on IG. Like, hey, man, you know what I'm saying? And funny story, man. Steve Train was like, you want to be one of the millionaires? And I was like, yeah, I want to be one of the millionaires. He was like, dude, this is what you got to do. So basically he was saying something about I had to do something, either pay for something or something. I was like, man, I ain't really trying to do whatever he was telling me I needed to do, and it probably was going to work out best for me anyway. Like if I would have done that, I would have, I would probably have been further along where I am. But I was like, no, I don't want to do that. Then, and then he said something. It was like, yeah, you need to do this, become one of the millionaires. And I was like, dude, I'm gonna be a millionaire anyways, whether I do this or not. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? Whether I go in your direction or not, I know I'm gonna make it. And I'm just talking junk, man. I just did my first deal, you know what I'm saying? But in my mind, I'm like, sure, I'm finna 10x this. This is what I've been waiting for years. I've been waiting on this for years. Like, dude, yeah, I'm finna 10x this, no doubt. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so that's crazy, funny story about me and Steve Train. But man, Steve Train, one of the first people that hit me back, man, one of the big dogs that hit me back. And he hit me, but he didn't hit me back multiple times. And so I respect Steve Train, all he doing. So Rolex coming through, man. What's going on, man? So Rolex say a free game, no doubt, man. Trying to show people the way. If the buyers want to close with the attorney's office, that real matters if it's yours or his. Doesn't really matter if it's yours or his. The thing is, man, a lot of times the buyer, I don't care so much about the buyer because the buyer really know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? The buyer know that, you either signing him the contract or he know you double closing. He know you making money. The buyer, I don't really care. If he's fighting about the closing with his, sometimes I give in to that. But the seller, no, we're not closing with your attorney, right? But either way, I still want to close with mine. I still want to close with mine. But if the buyer has a particular one, I'm willing to close with them. Um, A says, man, you told him that in the DM. Yeah, no, hey, told him that in the DM, man. It's like, dude, I'm gonna be a millionaire regardless of whether I go your way or do it a different way, man. It's like just hunger, man. You just know when you're hungry and you want it. You know what I'm saying? So that's the big thing for me, man. Just understanding and knowing what I want. Um, but yeah, man. So that's called a double close, where you close on the property, right, with the end buyer's funds. You don't use none of your money, right? This is how my first deal worked. And then the B2C side. So you close on the property. Now you become the owner just for like a split second until you sign the next documents, right? And then the end buyer becomes the owner, right? That's called double close because it's two closings that's going on, right? And they're going on same time. So that's double close. And then the other thing you can do is called an assignment contract, right? Where it's like you written up a contract between you and the seller, but your position is assignable. That means you can have the power to let somebody else take your place in that contract. You see what I'm saying? It's like I got a good contract that's valuable that you can make money off of, but you got to pay me to take my spot. You see what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, I always say, I always take it to the barbershop, like when you're in the barbershop, I'm next in line. Like I'm the next person in line about to get my haircut. Somebody walk in, they're like, hey, who next to get a haircut? They're like, oh, I'm next to get my haircut. Hey, can I get in front of you? You know what I'm saying? You want to take my spot? It's gonna cost you. You gotta pay me $10. Then you gotta pay for your haircut. You see what I'm saying? So that is like it's an assignment fee. You giving up your spot in line. When you sign a contract with them, now you have equitable interest to purchase that property. You first in line. You know what I'm saying? It's like you are the first person. You have the rights to purchase that property, right? So in order to give up those rights to purchase that property and give it to somebody else, they pay you money to take that spot. You see what I'm saying? Instead of $10 to get in front of you at the barbershop, they just paying you $10,000 to get in front of you to buy this property. Or they paying $50,000 to get in front of you to buy this property. And they do it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's valuable, right? That's like, if I'm buying a property, let's say for $100,000 and it's worth $300,000, somebody's willing to pay me $50,000 to take my spot because they still all in at 150 and the property is worth 300. You see what I'm saying? So that's the thing, man. Like, people are willing to pay that. So that's like in an assignment fee, you are stepping out of the transaction and you being replaced for a fee. You just getting cut a check. That's it. You know what I'm saying? You get cut a check and that's it. You don't show it the closing. That's one thing I messed up when I first started wholesaling. Like I did an assignment and I still showed up the closing, and I ain't have to sign nothing. So, but the attorney was cool about it. He could tell I was a beginner. I was just excited to be there. But the seller was signing and everything, and they had husband and wife, and like their daughter was there, and they was like, "Why he ain't got to sign nothing?" And I was like, "I don't even know why I ain't got to sign that." But the attorney was like, "Yeah, we got all his stuff taken care of already." They got me good, man, because the end buyer had to sign. So the attorney already knew the end buyer, and they had already got them to sign electronically. So he was like, "Yeah, that his side is already taken care of and signed off and all that stuff." So that ended up working out good for me. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, those are the two ways of how you can wholesale real estate. You know what I'm saying? And all it takes is somebody being interested in selling, right? You knowing the price that they want to sell at, and then going and find somebody who's interested in buying at a higher price. That's it. That's all you really gotta do, man. All this other stuff about ARV, MAO, repair calls, none of that is really matters. The only thing that matters, you find a property owner. Are they interested in selling? What price are they interested in selling at? Find a buyer. Will you buy this for more than this? Right? Bam. Sign the contracts up, send them to the attorney's office, deal's done. Right? It's like get to the closing table. Let's go. Right? So A says when you texting and calling with sellers, when the conversation at what point probably do you get them on the phone? So when I'm texting, I go through and qualify the lead. So I'm asking them, does property have major repairs? All this stuff, timeline. I'm asking them what price are they looking to sell at, stuff like that. And then if we agree on that, then I get them on the phone, send them over the contract, and then try to put them on the contract. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I do, to get them like that. So eight says when you're texting, so okay, you just made the question clear right there. But yeah, man. So those are the two ways you can wholesale real estate. Like I said, man, you ain't gotta have no license, you ain't gotta have no special papers, you ain't gotta have really nothing, man. Anybody can do this. That's why I say, man, you just gotta keep your ears and your eyes open and understand when people looking to sell their property. You know what I'm saying? So that's big. And another thing, man, another thing, with this wholesaling thing is it's like, dude, that's why it's so, that's why a lot of people want to get into it, but like a lot of people won't stay in it because they're told that it's free, so they get in, they try to do it for free and they fail. You see what I'm saying? You're gonna take a lot of failures when you're trying to get into this wholesale game. And if you can't put up with the failures, then you ain't gonna be successful. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of like that Michael Jordan quote where he talk about how he missed so many shots. That's why he succeeded, right? You got to be willing to take L's and keep coming. You know what I'm saying? You got to be willing to take losses and keep coming, keep going, keep pushing, until you get to, get deals going. You know what I'm saying? You got to be willing to take the L's, man. You got to be willing to take the L's. So A says, do you get a number from the buyer first and get offer based, I guess, offer based off the number? No, I don't get a number from the buyer. Sometimes I get a number from the buyer first. Sometimes if I can't get a number from the seller, sometimes sometimes I get a number from the buyer, but most time I'm getting a number from the seller first, right? And I'm giving them my offer ASAP. Yeah. So like when I'm talking to the seller, like in mid conversation, sometimes I go ahead and send it to the buyer. It's like I'm in mid conversation with a seller, and then I go ahead and send it to the buyer and start talking to them about the property. They give me a number. So before I even get to the number part, I done already talked to the buyer, and now back to talk to the seller, and giving them a number that that we'd be interested in. So yeah, that's how I do that, man. So I talk to the seller, then I go to the buyer, then I come back to the seller. That's how I like to do it, but it don't always work out that way. Sometimes I get all the way through the seller, figure out what, like on some deals they just give me a number and I'm like, I know that's gonna work. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I know that's gonna work. I'm getting you under contract, right? So sometimes it works out that way where you just go ahead and get them under contract. You know what I'm saying? So it just kind of depends on, every situation ends up being different, man. Um, you know, that's just the way it is. Oh, sorry, man. I'm checking out my stuff. But yeah, man, that's kind of how it works. As far as, getting people in contract. So um I told you what real estate wholesaling is. I showed you how it works. Now let me show you like a real life example, and I'm just gonna show some. Let me pull up a real life example. Pull up something that's old, man. That way, ain't got nothing that's really going on right now. Don't want to mess my junk up. But I'm gonna show you. Oh yeah, this is a good one. Well, nah, I can't do that one because that was a flip. Uh, Show y'all a real life contract. This person right here wouldn't care. Show y'all a real life contract, man. Let me see. 26. All right, show y'all real life contract right here. Man, y'all got questions, man, go ahead and drop them. Like I said, like, share the video. Trying to help, 100 people with a 9 to 5 star wholesaling so they can live life on their own terms, man. And that's really important to me, to help people be able to, reach their goals, man. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like you want to help people reach their goals. You want to help people, figure this thing out so that they can, achieve the same kind of stuff that I was able to achieve. You know what I'm saying? So let me see. Show y'all these contracts. I don't have a clean contract for this one. Let me see. Awesome. Let me see. Man, I was trying to look this one up. Let me see. I got any more questions? JB up in the house, man. What's going on, JB, man? JB up in the house, man. JB. Trying to think about some properties that I did a while back. It's so many daggone deals that so many deals, man. You know what I'm saying? So many deals, man. It's hard to, oh shoot. My bad, people. Oh, okay. I'm back. My bad. My daggone screen cut out. I think my daggone camera probably gonna go out before long on y'all, man. So y'all can't get in there with me. Like I said, man, I'm trying to really show y'all one that I did. Here we go. Here we go. Let me see. That ain't the daggone. They go to B to C. So let me show y'all this. And then let me show y'all a little screen. 25 little screen. This seller right here, man, is the prodigal seller. Right? This lady right here was under contract, and then we had to reduce the price. She was like, nah, I ain't reducing the price. I'm out. I don't want anything to do with this or whatever. And then next thing you know, she came back around and ended up selling her property, right? She came back around and ended up selling her property to us, man. And it was just a crazy story, man. You know what I'm saying? So let me see. Bam. We'll show y'all some old written off. God dang. 5 volts. See. 5 volts. Here we go. I might want to show y'all kind of the whole thing then. Might as well. 5 volts. Contract for closing. Let's see. 5 volts. Man, I got so much stuff in this darn email, man. 5 volts. Oh man. 5 volts. Here we go. So here we go. I got one for y'all, man. This old one that I can show y'all that actually works. 5 volts. Bam, and then go back. My bad, y'all. Taking me a little time. But I'm gonna get this pulled up for y'all, man. 5 volts. Oh man, I should have these things all like in one spot. I think that's what I should have, like it all in one spot. That would really help it out. 5 volts, 5 volts. God dang. Let me see, man. I'm tripping. So let's run some comps for the people. Let's run some comps, man. Send me something. Some of y'all talking about talking to agents, dude. Send me where y'all want to find buyers at. Y'all let me know what we want to do, man. I'll do whatever it is, that y'all talking about, man. Uh, I got a stupid amount of HUDs in here, man. So which one is this? Oh, that's that South Georgia stuff. Let me see, man. Yeah, y'all send me something that y'all want to comp, and we'll comp it, man. Send me whatever y'all want to do, and we'll run it. We will run it, man. We will run it. So send me what y'all want to do, and we'll do it, man. Let me see. There it is. Let me share this screen with y'all, man. This one that I did a little while back, man. Share the screen with y'all real quick. Share the screen with y'all real quick. So, bam. Let's see. Bam, I had this property under contract right here in Powder Springs. This is the old property I had under contract. But this one I had under contract in Powder Springs for $265,000. You see it right there, like you had the seller right here, buyer right there, address, all that stuff. But ended up getting them under contract at 265, but I already knew, that I had a buyer on the hook for 285. You know what I'm saying? So, so that's the A to B contract, right? And a lot of times when you're dealing with agents, they're gonna send over their own contract, right? So this right here is the B to C. So the first one I showed you was A to B. This one is B to C. So I had them under contract, right? At 265, but then I had the buyer under contract at 285. You know what I'm saying? The buyer already went and looked at it. Buyer already went and looked at it and everything, and they ready to go, right? So that's A to B, that's B to C. And then, once you get through with that, you got your HUD, and I'll show y'all that too. So 5 volts HUD. So you got the HUD once you get through with all that. You send both of those to the attorney's office, and then, and then it's a wrap, man. After that, they gonna handle everything, man. Once you send it to the attorney's office, man, the attorney's office really, especially a good one, they handle everything. 5 volts. So the HUD, here it is right here on 5 volts, man. That's the A to B. So you have an A to B HUD, and when they saying HUD, they talking about like, the thing at the end, where you getting paid off of, right? So the A to B HUD, and you got a B to C HUD, which shows like, okay, this is what you got paid out. This is what everybody is getting paid. Then it shows what you're going to end up making. So it's just an itemized settlement statement to finalize everything as far as the sale go. And in certain states, it goes to attorneys, and certain states go to title companies. So that's kind of what happens on that end. Rolex, man, send over that property. You said let's comp some, and you got one. So send it over, man. Anytime you got a property, send it over, man. We'll go through and we'll comp it, man. And, shoot, if you got a seller that you want me to call, man, send them in, man. We'll call the seller up right here, and see what they talking about, man. You know what I'm saying? Rolex, you ain't send me that property, man, that you was saying that you was gonna send over, man. But yeah, man, send some in. We'll go look at it. But like my thing is like, I guess maybe since I've been doing it for a long time, it's like, I really don't even be, too much on what's the ARV and stuff like that. I'm mainly just worried about what will the buyers buy it for, right? And I pretty much know what they're gonna buy it for. You know what I'm saying? Like I know what they're gonna buy it for. I ain't even really got to question that. So, but yeah, man, because I've done so many deals with these people and understand them, it's not hard to understand what they're gonna buy these properties for. So I went through and showed y'all what wholesaling was, showed you how it works, assignment, double close, and then gave you a real life example right there of that double close. And I think I just showed y'all on the last live about assignments where, I did a video about assignments where you just straight up assign the contract for a straight fee, right? Most people like doing that, that way they out of the transaction, they assigned it, that person handles it from then on, and they good to go. So man, if Rolex don't throw this address in here, man, I've been in here for 30. They won't let me send it through. Oh man. Well, text it to me, man. We'll jump on it. Can't believe they won't let you send it through, but text it to me, man. And we'll jump on it, man. You already know how to hit me up. Send it twice. God dang. Dang, you send it through twice and they stopped you. God dang. Well, shoot, just send it like one at a time. I think Anthony had to do that too. He sent the numbers, and then he sent the name of the address, then he sent the city, and then he sent the zip. You know what I'm saying? So try to see if you could do that. And we'll jump on here and comp this thing, man. We'll jump on here and comp this thing. Let me see. Yep. Finna comp this property, try to see, based off. So comping is basically you trying to figure out based on this property's, bedroom, bathroom, square footage, year built, all this other stuff, conditions. What would this property sell for if it's fixed up? You see what I'm saying? And I like to look at what does it sell for as it stands. You see what I'm saying? Because that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to sell it, as it stands. You see what I'm saying? It's like, that's what I'm trying to sell it for, as it stands, trying to sell that mug just like it is right now, So let's see what Rolex is gonna send through, and we gonna get this thing going, right? So let me type this address in that like Rolex got right here. Let me type it in. So he got 4941 Brookstone Parkway, Ellenwood, Georgia. Let me share the screen with y'all real quick. Share screen, window, bam. There we go. So let's see what you're talking about right here. Let's see what you're talking about right here. Rolex. So look good. Look like a good property, man. I always like to, click on the property, have this up, and then open another tab, and bam, open it up where I can look at both of them. You know what I'm saying? That way I can click off right here, and then I can zoom in to see what this thing talking about. So, man, I think maybe I seen this one before, Rolex or something. I don't know if I seen this before. We looked at this before or what. But the first thing I do when I look at these, obviously I'm looking at bedroom, bathroom square footage, where it's located, and then I glance at this number right here to just like to see kind of what do they think. You see what I'm saying? So I'm gonna look at what people are trying to sell in the area. This person trying to sell for 200, and see how long they've been on there. You know what I'm saying? Been on there 73 days. It looked broke down, but it's a 3 bedroom, 2 bath. This right here is a 4 bedroom, 3 bath. The square footage on that one is smaller, but still it's 200 and it's been sitting there like crazy. You see what I'm saying? Uh, and then I'm gonna look at what is sold in the area, right? And I want to go in the last, now that the market has changed like crazy, I want to go in the last 90 days. So bam, you got something right here that sold for 245, but it look way better. You see what I'm saying? And it's 3-3. This is a 4-3. This 13. So you only give me 200 more square feet. How much more am I gonna pay for 200 more square feet? You see what I'm saying? It's like, maybe I'll pay 10 more, if it's fixed up. Maybe I'll pay 20 more if it's fixed up. You see what I'm saying? So maybe the ARV is 260, 265. You see what I'm saying? Based on this one that I'm looking at right here. This one obviously is fixed up and it looks newer than this one. So I'm looking at bedroom, bathroom square footage. I'm gonna roll down here. This one was built in 1988. This one was built in 1995, right? So this one is a little newer than that one, right? So this one is newer. It looked fixed up or whatever, and it sold for 245, right? So you fix this one up, it should at least sell for 245. Probably sell 20K higher than that if it's fixed up. So I would say probably 265 would be the actual ARV based on what I'm seeing right there on that one. Let's look at another one. This one sold, right? Look like somebody did something to this one too. It's a 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 12 square foot. It sold for 200, right? That's pretty low. But it is a 3-2. This one got 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, and it's 300 more square feet, right? So you're probably gonna be able to get some more for that property. Let's see if we can find any 4 bedrooms, 3 baths. Here go another 3-2, but this is brick, so obviously that's bringing more value. But like it was sold as is. Hold on, man. Bam. Nah, that ain't brick. That's just regular siding right there. So um, that one was sold. God dang, my screen keep going out on me, y'all. Um, that one was sold for 220. So we know, as if it's fixed up, it's probably gonna at least sell for 240, right? 260, somewhere around there. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the economy, the way things are going. We know that this property is going to be somewhere in between 240 and 260 when it's fixed up, right? Then it depends on the level of being fixed up and clear out all this crap that's out front. You know what I'm saying? It looked like it's in a decent neighborhood, but you see most of these houses it's cleared up, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to clear up this stuff. Look, got AC windows in there, so something probably ain't right with the AC units. So it's a lot of stuff to factor in, man, that you got to consider when you're looking at these properties, But yeah, man, I'm thinking you around 240, 260. I would say if somebody's gonna do it nice, they probably gonna get 260, 265 if they do it nice, right? So that's what I would say, Rolex. What you thinking, Rolex? What's going on, Jordan? Rolling up in this thing. What's up, man? I think they may have converted the garage to make it a 4th bedroom. That converted garage ain't no good, man. People don't be liking them converted garages. I got under contract for 190. Ooh, you may be able to do something with that, but then again, it's like a lot of people, like if they gonna fix that because they ain't got no AC, you know what I'm saying? They got to do some stuff to it. It's old. It was built in 1988. You know what I'm saying? They probably gonna have to put like 40, I would say at least probably 40 grand, 30, 40 grand into it just to get it up to speed. So if you put, let's say worst case 40 grand into it, you at 230, you can sell it for 260. It probably ain't enough real room in there, for somebody to really try to take that on at this time. You see what I'm saying? They probably gonna want it, maybe around 170. You know what I'm saying? So but shoot, I definitely would send it over to some people, man. You send that to me, I'm gonna send it over to some people. I work with this guy, and I sent one of his properties over to a buyer. Matter of fact, really, you just send them to him yourself, but you send it to me, they're probably gonna respond faster. That's all, but send it over to the buyer. They came back in like 3 hours, let me know what that what the offer is. So you talking about being able to send something and get it right back. That's big. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, shoot, I'll send this over if you want me to, man, or I'll just let you know who I think you should send it to, and you just go ahead and send it over to them. I don't know if they're responding to you or not, because it's all about relationships, man. It's like once that person in a relationship with you and they responding to you, bam, you get responses. That person not in a relationship with you, they don't know who you are. You send them a message or something like that. They may respond, they may not respond. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing, man. Just that's big. That's the thing, man. Just knowing, you know, to respond or not to respond. Uh, but yeah, man. Rolex, let me know you got on the contract for 190. I think it might be a deal, man. You know what I'm saying? Should be at least make it a deal because like once you get them under contract, man, it's about to go down. As long as you give them a decent offer, you should be good to go. But shoot, man, daggone, my daggone camera just went out on y'all, man. Check the text, but it's been sent. Oh, okay. Well, shoot, man, I'm finna get out of here. Camera died on y'all. We just comped the property. I already went through and showed you what wholesaling is, how it works, gave you real examples, even comped the property. So like the video, all the other good stuff. Share. We're trying to help 100 people with a 9 to 5 star wholesaling, live life on their own terms. I made my first cold call. I was literally shaking. That's what's up, man. Hey, on the next call, man, y'all bring me some sellers to call, man, and we'll call them up. But man, I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow. Peace out. Appreciate all the love, people coming through. KL, Rolex, Jordan, A came through, JB came through. Appreciate all y'all coming through, and I'll see y'all next time.